Hello, welcome into the channel, Paramay Trades. This is Paramay's Trade Journal. We're going to take a look at CoT Report Friday Roundup, the grains edition here. The date is Saturday, the 25th. Doing our homework so we can get a better look at what the market's doing and get set up for the new week. See what charts we want to play. And I think it might be also worth noting that there is a possibility that we might be changing the channel name to Trade Instinct. This is something that we've been exploring, something I've been exploring. I've got kind of more of an industry name, maybe help us increase our chat community. So stay tuned for that. I don't know that that's going to happen. It might happen this weekend. Who knows? We'll see. But let's take a look at grains. Let's take a look at grains and let's see what we see. All right, top of the list, corn. Still, we did a video last week on this. We're bullish on corn. We saw a little bit of movement with corn, and the 3-year index is also supporting us up over at 80%. And we've got new net long positions for highs on corn. So gotta be one to watch this week. There was a little bit of downturn towards the end of the week, and I gotta think that this is a good opportunity to be a buyer right now, especially where corn is in the position of corn. Oats, shifting sentiment. Are they shifting sentiment? Here's the problem I have with Oats, is that the legacy report sometimes neglects Oats. So we don't get the data, but the chart with the data that we did have did suggest that there was some movement. Oh, that's in the upcoming week as well. Soybean oil was another one we watched. We did a video on that. Definitely check the channel because we're just going to look at commercial interest right now, but we'll do separate videos on those because the top of this chart are the ones that I'm going to play. And we played the corn last week, and we played the soybean oil last week, and there was a little bit of movement that we enjoyed. Soybeans themselves, not looking promising for commercial interest. So maybe in the next few weeks, maybe this will turn around, but right now it looks pretty darn bearish. So soybean oil looking really thin in terms of commercial interest. Not sure what's going on here, but we'll take a look at the chart. Looking middle ground on wheat. Probably not going to watch it. Probably not going to watch wheat. Not at extremes. We like to see commercial interest at extremes, over 80% or under 20% for positive confirmation or negative confirmation if we're using commercial interest as a leading indicator. So I won't be watching that. So soybean meal. Soybean meal, probably not going to watch it, but we can just take a look at the chart and just see what it says. See what we can come up with. So there's your commercial interest for right now. Top of the chart, corn, oats, and soybean oil. Bottom of the chart, soybeans, and let's see, bottom of the chart, soybeans and soybean meal, and your wheat. So top of the chart is corn. So let's take a look at corn. Let's take a look at corn and let's look at commercial interest. Let's see where they are and what they're doing. And do we? Yeah, I mean we liked this, right? This is what we wait for. This is what we wait for. Bearish comms on the 3-year index. Open interest relatively high. We're up in that overbought territory, and market sentiment is blazing. So, I mean, that was your short opportunity. We discussed this once before, so I'm not going to go over it again, but let's look at where we are right now. Bullish comms, open interest, relatively low. Maybe wait for this to come down just a little bit, and the time to be a buyer, I think, on corn is now. Absolutely think the time to be a buyer on corn. So let's bring up our 2 chart here and show you what we were looking at just recently. So we were following this downtrend channel, and we like the idea that below the 1.0 and the 1.25 coefficient, these were better opportunities to be a buyer. And we said this last week, that a better buying opportunity existed below the 1.25 coefficient, and we had some positive movement to the upside. So where are we now? So we haven't been trading above the point of control very often, but now we look like we might be finding some support on the point of control of this downtrend channel. So have we retraced about 50%? Because that's what I like to see, is about a 50% retrace off the bottom here. And we're just about, we tagged the 50 and we jumped up a little bit. So can we get some movement to the upside? We have a little bit of price correction going with this, this pump to the upside. But last week was a good time to be a buyer down here. It was an excellent time to be a buyer down here, and it played in our favor. So is corn getting ready to turn the other way? With as bullish as commercial interest is, I think this can break out. I think this is getting ready to break out. I like the idea of being a buyer on the point of control. Let's see some more positive movement to the upside, and let's get out of. Look at that. Just tag that. Better place to be a seller, right? On the 0 coefficient or the -2.5. But you got to watch for a break of the 0 coefficient and find support and then break out. So can we get some action like this? Can corn finally break out of this? I did like this as a swing. It's not a pretty decent move up, but higher low, lower low, and a nice higher low. So this could be the movement. Can it trickle down a little bit further? I think this is a nice technical test in this area. Let's see if it's got some more upside to it. But better, obviously better buying opportunities exist down here on the 1.0 and the 1.25. But can we find support on the point of control before this thing starts to bust out? I think this is worth being a swing trader on this. It looks good. It looks promising, especially if we're following commercial interest. So, and the chart don't lie. You can listen to whatever advisor you want. I'm not a financial advisor, and I'm definitely not advising you. But we're just looking at the chart here, and we've looked at past data for the last year or last couple of years on commercial interest, and they seem to want to be on the right side of the trade. So do we want to be on the right side of the trade too? Is this thing going to start to break out? We've been in a hellish downtrend on corn for some time now. Is this starting to show signs of sentiment change? This really looks like it. Does this look more like a bottoming above the point of control in this downtrend channel, where there was quite a bit of rejection before, where corn couldn't hold it, but now showing a little bit of strength? I think so. And I want to be on this trade too. Let's look at oats. Oats were, as far as we knew, pretty darn bullish, but we had done a video on this some time ago when we thought that this would look like a bottoming pattern, and we got the movement. And we didn't follow this precisely, but it looked pretty darn good. In terms of a breakout. Same difference, right? We've got a nice downtrend channel. Better time to be a buyer underneath the 1.25 coefficient, and then we get this nice bottoming short-term swing that looks like, or maybe even long-term. Find support on the point of control, and then there's that build-up on the 0 coefficient, and we break higher. It's a good time to be a buyer on oats down near here and above the point of control, and it looks quite similar to corn. So take a look at it this week. I'm probably not going to play oats, but I'm not saying that this thing can't rep. Let's bring in our 3 chart here with, we called this a while ago when comms were getting bullish on this. We thought this looked like a nice bottoming pattern, and then we broke out to the upside. So if you got in that, I think we published that probably back at the end of March. So if comms aren't something that you watch and you're skeptical, we don't just buy because we don't blindly buy into the market just because we're following large hedgers or anything like that, right? We've got a couple of different indicators that work for us. We've got our lower time frame look. We like to look at that. We want to see if there actually is a market bottom, but we're not blindly buying just because commercial interest is buying. But we're taking a look at the chart and we say, well, maybe there is something to it. Maybe there is something to our leading indicator right now. So comp still, with the data that we have, we don't get supplied with the correct data on Oats sometimes, I feel like, from bar charts. We just don't get their positions. But with the positions that we did have, comms were bullish. What was the other one we were looking at? Soybean oil. Yeah, I played this chart too. I thought it looked good. This looked, well, that's kind of sloppy. Let's go with our 3 here. What do we got? The same damn thing. Almost every single time. Comms getting bullish. In this area. Does this look like a bottoming pattern? This looks like it could be a good time. Double bottom action going on here. Just about double bottom action. Can we get some more movement to the upside? Comms are bullish. We like to see this. Open interest relatively low. WPR in the oversold territory and market sentiment relatively low. I think this has got some upside to it. Comms seem to think so too. One of the charts that you just got to pay attention to. Right? We bottom, we find support, we find resistance, and now can we get some movement? Do you want to wait? Do you want to wait until you're up here around 27 before you're a buyer, or does this look like a lower risk? Watch the lower time frames on this chart, because this looks a little more like a bottoming pattern than some will give credit for. We got that nice double bottom look here, and when we retrace, we tagged that 50. That was nice. Better opportunity, downtrend channel. Better opportunities to be a buyer around the 1.0 and the 1.25 coefficient, and we break out. Good time to be a buyer down here. You weren't wrong if you played this chart. We made out handsomely. We come up, we tag the 50% retrace of this down move. So from swing high to swing low, 50% exactly. And we get a hellish retrace here, all the way back down. But look where we are. Point of control of the downtrend channel. Can we start to challenge some more upside here? Double bottom look. I like it. ZL is probably one that we're going to play. Value low of the range that it's been trading in. Value high, not a good time to be a buyer up in here. Value high for a very, for the better part of a month and a half or more, almost 2 months of trading that we're just, in this area, and your value high is up in here. So I think down in this area, around the point of control, around the 1.0, good time to be a buyer, and I think we can come back up. And doesn't quite get the swing down here, but if they do get it, definitely going to start thinking about being a buyer in here. Comms are bullish. That's what we like to see. If you follow them, anything over 80%, extreme positive outlook. Right. So those are the top 3 on the grains that I would really watch. Oats, not so much. Corn and soybean oil, definite musts here. And we'll take a look at, because this is relatively low, right? This is extremely bearish. Has this gotten bearish yet? Let's take a look at the chart. Soybean is just looking like it's. Are we breaking down here? So we got this nice downtrend channel to look at. Point of control, pretty decent point of control. Still working underneath it, but can we get a swing working for us? Can we get a swing? Comms are not bullish. They're not optimistic on this. So can we maintain this and get a little bit more price action breakdown? So we talked about this last week, I think. We thought, well, we can get some positive movement off of the 1.0 coefficient. Sorry, and we got some movement. So a nice scalp play going on in here. Come back up and test that temporary support area that it lost, and there it is. But just swing through these lows, and then we get some price action to the upside. So not a bad idea, underneath this price value of 820. And on the 1.0 coefficient to take a long position for a scalp up to the point of control. Until we see something different on soybean here, it don't look too promising. We're trading above it for some time. Nice breakout, but there it is along the 0 coefficient. Good time to be a seller. Well, point of control looks good. So I'm probably not going to play soybeans unless I see something. Intuitively, I just don't. I don't know. Maybe we'll do a separate chart on this. We're just going to watch commercial interest right now. Keep this video short. Okay. Is soybean meal worth a look? Is it moving? Well, almost, about 40% in the last 4 weeks. So extremely bearish outlook into a little bit of sentiment shift and a little bit of sentiment shift on the 3-year index. So soybean meal looking a little bit better. Oh, good God. I guess we haven't looked at this chart in a very, very long time. Let's bring in our 3 chart though. Let's bring in our commercial interest. Oof. Okay, we're just gonna do this. What do we got? Our 3. We're just gonna clean this up. It probably made sense at one point, but we haven't looked at it in a long time. So, nice support in this range. Support. Lose it, gain it. We lost it, challenged it, and we're low. Here's the low of the last year. And can we find support on that? Can we find a nice swing low here to bust out of this? And comms were really bearish back here, which was the sell signal. Open interest relatively high. Comms are getting bearish. Overbought territory. Market sentiment is on the rise. So that does help us out. So it was a good time to be short up in here. And commercial interest gave us a little bit of advice and a little bit of an indication that this was going to turn down. But I think if they, within the coming weeks, within the next few weeks, if we can see some movement above the 80% on the index, this could run, right? So here's the last time they were above the 80% on the 3-year index and the 6-month index, right? And then we got some movement to the upside. So does that work? Is this helpful? Did that look helpful? It looked pretty helpful. And we like the combination of bullish comms, open interest diminishing or relatively low, and we like that oversold territory and market sentiment relatively low. Wasn't quite the bottom where it was back here, and we didn't have the 6-month index to work with, but I was just like right in that area. And then now we've got these extremes in the marketplace. So, and I think the reason why we outlined, some of this area is because it was so sideways for just so very long. So we had a value low area and a value high area to trade with for some time. And we're now just below that, right? We're now just below that. So, another thing I like to look at too is the seasonal effect. So let's bring that chart in and just see if this warrants any upside. Is this warranting any upside? Can we look at a seasonal chart, an 8-year seasonal chart on ZM and say, well, yeah, there is a case for a rally this time of year. So here's the current season. Do we have a strong case for some upside movement? So the average looks pretty good. The average looks up, and we do see a little bit of rally action going on with a couple of the other seasons around this time period that may suggest that this could be the time for a rally on soybean meal. The little movement up here too. Yeah, the average looks good. Do we have more seasons that are in favor? Well, this one kind of was a dark green. I don't even know where that one is. Hidden somewhere in here. Some price correction going on in some of the seasons around this time period. But moving forward, do we have a better case for a rally this time of season? Yeah. Let's see comms move up, and this looks like a better case. I may have overlooked the ZM here, but maybe this is bottoming out, and they think that this is going to turn out. Let's look and see what happens in the next couple of weeks. Not quite where we want to be. We like this though. We'd like to see comms a little bit more bullish than they are. Get up over that 50%. Open interest is relatively low. Maybe this WPR can come down a little bit, and this could be, this could look like a nice bottoming pattern. Oof. You can't even channel this, folks. You can't. You can try. Are we getting a swing here? Ooh, that would be nice. That would be really nice. So we come down, get some kind of technical test going up in here. Can they not push it, Is it not going lower? Let's see. I mean, we've been well below this very steep channel. Spread it out a little bit so it doesn't look so crazy. Can we get some movement out of this? Can we get some movement out of this? We look pretty sideways at the moment. This could be bottoming. This could be accumulating here. We'll have to watch it. It looks like it's accumulating. All right, let's put ZM on the list too, because that looks pretty good. Next few weeks, gotta watch it. So Oats, I'm just not gonna watch it. There's just enough for me to watch here. Okay, that's it. That's all I gotta say about grains. It's been one of those stronger markets that I've been looking at in the last few weeks and love to play. So corn and soybean meal and soybean oil should all be definitely on your watch list. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for hitting the like button or leaving comments. We really like that stuff. And stay tuned for a possible name change. We're just looking to drive up the community a little bit more. Get some traders in there. Flying solo here, it's just, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work as a full-time trader and trying to tube for you guys too. I don't mean to make it sound like I'm YouTubing for an audience. I do it for myself. I'm actually the number one viewer on my own YouTube because it's my journal. When I forget that I make these analyses, and if I skip going over or watching my own analysis, it's almost like not writing the book. It's almost like not journaling yourself and taking your own damn advice. So that's why I watch it. I rewatch my videos once or twice to see what I'm trading this week, because this is a part of the analysis. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for stopping by. And, thanks for the viewership. Really appreciate that. Until the next time, I hope you find yourself on the profitable side of the trade, and I'll see you again on the next video. Thank you.